On August 15, 2025, United States President Donald Trump met Russian President Vladimir Putin in Anchorage, Alaska. This was an important moment in world politics because it was the first time Putin visited a Western country since the start of the war in Ukraine. The meeting took place at Joint Base Element of Richardson, a U.S. military base known for its role during the Cold War. Putin received a formal welcome. There was a red carpet, military honors, and even a display of B 2 stealth bombers and F 35 fighter jets flying over the base. This was not just a welcome, it was also a clear show of US military power. President Trump was joined by several top American officials, including Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. During an expanded lunch meeting, other key members of Trump's team joined, such as Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. Putin was accompanied by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and Senior Advisor Yuri Ushkov, along with other aides. The biggest topic on the table was the war in Ukraine. Trump wanted to discuss a possible ceasefire and suggested security guarantees for Ukraine without making it a member of NATO. This could mean Ukraine would receive protection but not become part of the alliance. However, Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky was not invited to the meeting. This caused disappointment in Ukraine and in some European countries. Zelensky also repeated that Ukraine would never give up any of its territory to Russia. The public moments of the meeting looked friendly. Trump welcomed Putin warmly with a handshake and smiles. At one point, Putin even rode in Trump's armored limousine, the Beast, while passing rows of American fighter jets. These moments gave the meeting a more personal touch, even though serious issues were being discussed behind closed doors. The meeting lasted almost 3 hours. Afterward, both leaders spoke to the press. Trump called the meeting very productive but said no deal until there is a deal. Putin said they had reached an understanding, but he gave no details. This means no final agreement was made, but both sides considered it a step forward. Reaction around the world were mixed. Supporters saw the meeting as a chance to move toward the peace. Critics worried it could give Russia more legitimacy and ignore Ukraine's interests. Trump also hinted there could be another meeting in the future, possibly involving Ukraine and NATO leaders. The Trump Putin meeting in Alaska was a high profile event with both symbolic and political meaning. It showed the dialogue between the US and Russia is still possible even in the times of conflict. However, real peace in Ukraine will acquire more talks, greater cooperation, and inclusion of all parties involved. For now, the world will continue watching closely to see what happens next.